welcome back to the channel. This week I'm going to work on the silver C10 square body that I built a while back. Mainly want to change the lifters in it, and while I'm in it I'm going to change the camshaft, put a performance camshaft in it, and also going to put valve seals on it while we're got it down this far. Also going to change it to an aluminum radiator, I think. So but I'll take you along as we grip into this. I got a friend coming over to help me today, so I'm just going to mainly put the camera up on the tripod and let you follow along as we do it. There's the parts I have. Actually got a tool so I can chuck air in the cylinders and get the springs off the valves to put the seals in. Box of seals, gasket set, and this box is the camshaft and lifters. And we'll show you that a little later on there. But, so next time you see or we start the video, we'll be tearing into this C10. All right, started taking it apart. Got the shroud and the fan off, getting ready to pull the radiator. And of course, you got to set all the air conditioner, compressor, and the AC brackets and the alternator brackets and all of that off too. But trying to slowly do this, and I'm going to try to do it without evacuating the AC, so I can keep the charge in the compressor. Okay, so we're down to the last one on this side, and you can see the seal. That's it right there, the new seals we're putting on. Pretty much all the seals were shot, but the exhaust side was just brittle and just fell apart. The intakes were not as bad. But we're just using this tool, chucking air in the cylinder, putting this over that, pull it down, taking the keepers out of the valve, putting it back on in reverse order. So far, so good. Okay, the old camshaft's out. It was wore pretty bad, more than I thought it should have been for the miles on supposedly on the motor. So here's where we're at. We've got the intake setting back on it. Got the rockers run for the preload on the lifters, and call it a day right there at that. And hopefully by tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so we're gonna call it for tomorrow, and Friday I'll finish it up. Maybe be able to hear it run. So this morning I'm come out and I got the distributor back in, got the intake bolted back up yesterday, and so got the carburetor just sitting on there, getting ready to put the fuel pump back on. I got to put a new gasket on that, and then we'll move on to the front timing cover and the water pump and the accessory drives. So we got the aluminum radiator installed in it, and now I'm in the process of wiring up the fans. Mounted the relay in this area here. Got to run some wiring across to one end to the cab to an ignition fuse, and the trigger wire, which will go to my sensor, which I put running the intake here right underneath the top radiator hose. So we'll get that done and I'll show you how that works. Here's a look at the engine compartment after I got it sealed back up. See the aluminum radiator underneath. There's the truck running after I put the camshaft in it. Notice a little bit of lope there at idle. I got it idling a little bit slower than I normally keep it, just so you can hear the cam. Sounds pretty good. Good morning. We're back out on the C10s, silver square body. I got the engine finished up, radiator in it. I'll recap that with you here shortly, but truck had a little howl in the rear end and had several people listen. They said it was definitely a wheel bearing. So while I had it in the shop, I thought I'd go ahead and put the wheel bearings in it too. So I ordered me a puller and got the seal out and got the bearing out on this side. I still don't have the passenger side out yet, but we're going to go ahead and put the new wheel bearings and seals in the axles while we got it apart. I'll show you what the puller looks like that I pull them with. So this is just a cheapo puller that I got off of Flea Bay. It's got a different size collets to the end of it here, and you just actually hook it in there. The problem I had with this bearing here, the bearing come apart. As you can see, the outer part of the bearing is still in there, so I've got to get the rest of that out. Hopefully this puller will do it, but I'll bring you back and show you when I get it out what it looks like. Like I say, I want to get this done while I got the truck in the shop here, try to get everything squared away on it. So we'll be back. All right, got the other bearing race out, so we're good to go and ready to put the other bearings back in. I actually put the other bearings in the freezer to try to shrink them up a little bit. Hopefully they'll go back in there better. We'll find out, I guess. Okay, I got the bearings drove in. I just used an old bearing, set it up in there where the seal sets, and then just took a brass hammer, and just tapped it back in there. It actually went in pretty easy because the bearings, I froze them. And I guess it shrunk them up just enough to make it not such a tight fit to go in. So next I've got a seal driver, and I'm going to put the seals in. So here's the seal driver, just a steel plate with aluminum shaft. I got a bushing in there where the seal sits over it, and you just set it up there like so. Try to get it halfway straight. That's it. I'm going to slide the axle back in and move to the other side. Okay, got the axles back in, got the diff cover back on. You can see there. I'm going to wait till probably tomorrow to finish torquing the bolts. I put a bead of silicone on it and let it kind of skim over and then put the cover on. It seems like I've had better success with them not leaking doing that. So also done something up here on the transmission shaft. It was leaking around the shift shaft, and I put a seal in it. It was still dripping, so I got a repair sleeve where the shaft had some wire in it, and put the repair sleeve in. So we'll see if that cures my transmission drip also. So making pretty good progress on the truck. I think that's everything we need to do to it. Tomorrow morning I'll finish torquing the rear diff cover and fill it full of 90 weight, and I think we should be good to go. All right, we're going to drive it up the road and see how the first drive does with the new camshaft. So that's a wrap for this week's video. Next week, we'll be putting the interior in the 68 C10. Got all the outside of the cab done, and we'll put the carpet in it, seats in it, console, the surround piece in the back. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.